Is it all there?
Every game you ever wanted to play, my friend.
That's good. Vince told me you'd come through. Up for more?
Sure. Yeah?
Hey, you parts free!
Hello all you lovely people, T4 here with another rant, and today's rant, wait a minute, this is my first rant in a long time. Wow, it's a little odd. I haven't done rants in a long while, but whatever, let me get to the point anyway. Today's rant is going to be about G4 itself. Surprising that all this time I'm going to be talking about G4. Now, I've been holding all this time to rant about G4 for a long time. Mainly because a lot of people have talked about it, and it's just an overblown subject. I wouldn't really say overblown. It just became a hot topic that once you hear it, once you've heard the topic, you've probably heard them all. But the main reason why I'm going to be doing this rant on G4 is mainly because, I am saying this right now, G4 is actually coming to its end.
What?
Alright, let me restate this. NBC Universal, the company that owns G4, previously it was Comcast, but they sold G4 to NBC Universal. They considered to revamp G4 into a less of a geeky kind of channel. It's more like, anybody remembers the magazine GQ magazine? Yeah, they're making more of a channel mainly about something like that. That's the fate of what G4 is going to be now. And honestly, I could care less. Mainly because G4 died for me a long time ago. It died around 2005. This may or may not affect Canada. I really don't know. And there are viewers, you know, outside of North America that have no idea what G4 is. So, I'm going to give you, you know, the details behind it. G4 was first introduced as a channel mainly centered for gaming. The shows they had included Cinematag, which was, you know, video clips fit with ambient music. Filter, which was like a top 10 list based on video games. Cheat, which is, well, what can you say? It's a show about video game cheats and how you're supposed to beat certain games, you know, that sort of thing. Judgment Day, that was a pretty good show. You know, stuff like that. Well, some may say, well, what happened to it? Well, before G4, there was another channel called Tech TV. It was basically a channel on cable that was exclusive on technology-related news, and, you know, there were shows based on that. Now, pay close attention. Around 2001, many Comcast cable systems dropped Tech TV from their channel lineups. The reason for this is completely unknown. Another company called G4 Media, which owns the channel G4, which is owned by NBC Universal, decided to purchase Tech TV and cause a merge with the channel. Thus, a new channel called G4 Tech TV was born. Then they decided to drop it in 2005, and it was still G4. In the same year, they decided to change the format of the program and make it less about video games and more about male demographic programs. In other words, Star Trek, Cops, Cheaters, X-Play, Attack of the Show, rinse and repeat. Crazy, isn't it? This whole change in format started ever since Neil Tales? I don't know. Basically, this guy replaced Hertzhorn as the channel's president. And ever since then, he made a lot of major changes. Basically, he alienated the core audience of the channel and made it more like Spike TV Jr. One of the worst shows they ever had was The Man Show. I am not kidding, that show actually does exist. It's basically stereotyping heterosexual males in their idiotic ways whatsoever. I mean, hell, it got so bad to the point that even Adam Sessler left G4, and he was one of the original, crew members of Tech TV. which back then it was called CD-TV. I mean, heck, it's even more worse when DirecTV dropped G4 because the DirecTV doesn't see the value of the channel. Yeah, that bad. You know, as much as it's too late to say it, I think some of the other criticisms of this channel needs to be addressed. Even though it's going to be revamped, but you know what? Fuck it. Just for old time's sake. For one, G4 should have just stayed into its, natural roots. Okay, not literally, but you get the idea. Just a channel about mainly gaming. What was unique about G4 was that it had its own original content. Nowadays, most of its programs are just syndicated programs from other channels. That's really sad when you go from having original content to just, reuse content from other channels. And on the subject of that, even though there's no relevance to the title of the video, T4-TV should have just been a channel about just, technology. But then again, without the downfall of T4-TV, there would have been websites like twit.tv and Revision 3. So, it kinda, well, not kinda, it does suck that T4-TV doesn't really exist anymore. Now, I would suggest the idea of a new television channel that's based on the concepts and, of gaming, and the same goes for technology, but there's a problem. The World Wide Web. It's more popular than television, plus there's a lot of them on the web, so there's really no point of having a TV channel, just based on video games or the internet. I mean, technology, even though not a lot of people have, the internet. So, but then again, I'm not really an expert on, the television industry, so I really can't say all that much. And of course, if anybody's wondering, yes, I got allergies, I know I sound like shit, but I need to address my point. What I really can't stand about G4 at this point is that they completely disregarded their core fan base, and instead they went for syndicated programs that is completely out of the channel's roots. Again, not natural roots, but oh, you get the idea.
Get on with it!
Oh, sorry. I mean, to me, G4 is like this. It's like a stuffed teddy bear that you always cling on to as a really young kid. Then one day, it went missing, and you kept on looking for that teddy bear. Hours later, you actually find a teddy bear, only to be torn apart, burned by a cigarette lighter, and soaked in water by two obnoxious pricks. Lots of teddy bears were ruined that day. Other than that, I really don't know what else to say negative about G4. It already ruined itself by disrespecting its fan base and replacing most of its programs with syndicated programs that we've already seen in other channels. I mean, I have a lot of fond memories with G4. Usually when I get off of middle school back then, I would go inside the house, make myself a plate of nachos with salsa and cheese, get up microwave, turn on my television screen, and just watch some good old G4 with episodes like Arena, Filter, G4.com, X-Play, Cinematech, Judgment Day, the list goes on. A lot of great content was aired around that time. But, not anymore. Those were the days that I remembered. I can't relive them, but they'll still hold a place in my heart. At least I can kind of do the same for other websites though, like Screw Attack, or Game Trailers, or Game Spot, and IG, you get the idea. Other than that, I really got nothing else to say, so I'm gonna end this video right here. This is T4 saying have a nice day, everybody. Now, if you may go excuse me, I'm gonna go lay down and, oh wait, I got college homework to do. Oh, God.
Yo, Earl! What? You're fired!